There's really no comparison. Michael Jordan played in an era where the game was different. It was being refereed different than what LeBron is playing in. LeBron plays a different role than what Michael played as a player. In all fairness to Michael, he was never asked to do the things that LeBron do for his team. He had a lesser role. And statistically, that's why you're seeing LeBron numbers are far better than Michael Jordan's numbers in terms of what he do throughout the whole game, because we didn't utilize Michael to do things that the Cavs utilized LeBron for. So they're both the greatest in their era. But to say who is the greatest, we will never know that. I mean, in my eye, Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest basketball player.
Somebody get this nigga the fuck out of here. Guard! Come get your mans. Mike?
Michael and LeBron should never be really compared, because it's almost like comparing Kareem to me. So that wouldn't be fair.
Like, Wilt was great, but he also played against milkmen. However, Wilt was probably the greatest athlete of all time. He could high jump at an Olympic level. He could do the 100-meter dash in Olympic time. He could bench, I think, 300 pounds. Not to mention the nigga was 7 feet tall. Wilt was different. And he got hella bitches. Y'all ever notice that Otto Porter looks like... Yeah.
You know, I like Scottie Pippen. I don't enjoy having to say what I have.
Max just looks like he farted and like he wants you to smell it. Like the smile on his face just, it's so off-putting.
To say, I'm not going to even get into the gibberish you just threw out there, Max Kellerman, because you're not the target of my ire at this particular moment in time.
The target of my ire? My nigga.
I just look at a guy like Scottie Pippen and I'm like, I hate attaching agendas to what somebody says. I believe that people have the right to feel what they feel without somebody thinking there's some kind of ulterior motive to their words. But in Scottie Pippen's case, I have to make an exception. What the hell is he talking about? In the 12 years that Michael Jordan was in the playoffs, he never averaged less than 30. Ever. One series he averaged 43. Another was 36. Another was 35. Another was 34. He never averaged less than 30. He's a career 48.7% shooter from the field. Now you look at Scottie Pippen and you say to yourself, okay, you bring up the errors as if that's a knock against Jordan, when it is my belief that is what elevates Jordan. We are living in an era, we are literally covering an era where you can get called for a foul for passing gas. I mean, if the smell stink enough, you might get called for a foul. You got bad breath, you might get a technical. Don't get me started with the talking.
The nigga said if you farted, you get a foul. Imagine James Harden just eats hella tacos before a game, right? Nigga just got him in the chamber for when he's driving.
Now a 270-pound locomotive coming at you is playing in an era where you don't even have to touch him and you might still get called for a foul. But Jordan was playing against Boston with McHale and Bird and Parrish and those boys. And then after that, he had to go through the bad boy Pistons. And we know what the bad boys with Mahorn and Lambert and Sally and Rodman and James Edwards and Dumas and our rough rider like Isaiah Thomas, who was a little pit bull. He was CP3 before CP3 ever came along. And then after that, we go into the 90s, where you're going against the Knicks with Mason and Oakley and Ewan and these boys. You go against Indiana with the Davises and Rick Smiths and Reggie Miller and those boys. You go into the finals against Phoenix with Barkley. You go into the finals against Portland with Clyde Drexler and the crew. You go into the finals with Magic and the Lakers. You go into the finals with Karl Malone and Stockton. You go into the finals against Gary Payton and Sean.
He was so fucking great.
Temerity, the unmitigated gall.
The unmitigated gall of this nigga.
The blasphemy. The blasphemy. blasphemy to sit up there and go like this. Well, you know what, they play in different eras, and we just have to look at it, and more responsibility was on LeBron James' shoulders. What are you smoking?
Stay off the weed.
During two-way players, he defended all-time 50 greats. I loved having them on the show. It's all in fun, baby. Don't take it personal. I love me some Scottie Pippen. But when it comes to this subject about Michael Jordan, I'm sitting there going like this. Did Michael Jordan not hug you enough? Did he not appreciate you enough? Is there something that's missing in terms of the love, the brotherhood, or something that tells us that, you know what, you just up in your feelings? Because I don't understand how you could bring up errors and think that that favors LeBron with this soft as cottonelle tissue era that we're living in. Unbelievable. The point that I'm trying to make is the era was so tough. That in and of itself harbored a strong level of responsibility. Scottie Pippen knows basketball. He knows that.
If you really want to look at it, LeBron suffers a little bit of what Shaq did, which is he's so big and strong, they let people get away with a little more on LeBron than they would on another player. And Jordan got a ton of calls.
Whoa. Stop the question. Are you sitting here and saying that LeBron James has been exposed to the level of physicality that Michael Jordan was exposed to?
No. It's not what I'm saying.
I just wanted to make sure. No, I'm not accusing. I had to ask.